Do you understand that the last 2 years, the Big Ben Roethlisberger, God bless him, Hall of Famer, we love him, 2 Super Bowl titles, we love Big Ben Roethlisberger, but we wanted him gone, okay? Because he was clearly done. And since that time, what have you had if you're a Pittsburgh Steelers fan? I mean, they gave you reasons to question whether a quarterback position should exist.
The Pittsburgh Steelers with no quarterback, Mason Rudolph as their projected QB1, passed up on Shedeur Sanders at 21.
That was
and
my
that's
moment.
and that's where I said, oh, it's some bullshit going on. Shedeur Sanders slides all the way to the 5th round for guess who to come and pick him.
At least 5 of them was wrong, right? Because they need a quarterback in the best way. He can. You talk about from extremes. You said fighting for a roster spot to potentially being a starter.
Right.
Like what are we? It's a lot of in between. So you mean to tell me that that's a 5th round pick? I think it's laughable that that so many teams passed on him over and over again.
So why do you
half
think
of the 4th round?
That's the question.
Because they cut their nose to spite their face.
The Pittsburgh Steelers just made one of the most puzzling moves in recent NFL memory. They passed on a golden opportunity in the draft to pick up Shedeur Sanders, a young, dynamic quarterback with sky-high potential. And now, they've ended up signing Aaron Rodgers, a decision that's already raising eyebrows across the league. Stephen A. Smith didn't hold back, calling Rodgers finished. Is this the beginning of the end for the Steelers' front office credibility, or do they know something we don't? Let's break it down.
You know, I haven't explored it. It's something, obviously, that he's going to have to deal with in terms of moving on beyond being coached by his father. But, you know, professional football is just that, professional football. I don't imagine it'll be a challenge for him. There are a lot more significant, you know, tangible challenges.
The Pittsburgh Steelers have finally spoken out about passing on Shedeur Sanders in the draft, and their explanation? They believe Shedeur is a great talent, but say he simply doesn't fit their game style. According to the front office, it's professional football, not about personal preferences. And just like that, they moved on. But now, after all, that talk about physicality and fit, they've signed Aaron Rodgers, a quarterback they waited patiently for. The big question now, was it worth the wait? There's already a heated debate brewing. Can Rodgers at this stage of his career really bring more to the table than Shedeur Sanders would have with his youth, energy, and insane work rate? Or is this just setting the stage for yet another disastrous season in Pittsburgh? On Pardon the Interruption, things got heated when the Steelers' latest move came up. A franchise already under pressure and hungry for a turnaround. The question everyone's asking is simple. Will Rodgers reignite his career and silence the critics, or are the Steelers setting themselves up for another season of chaos and disappointment? The countdown has begun.
All right, Pablo, do you still believe in Aaron Rodgers?
I cannot believe I'm getting asked this question. No, I don't believe Aaron Rodgers. I don't believe in Aaron Rodgers. I've seen too much. Tony, we have all seen too much. And I'm not even trying to be like, whatever, like grandiose about it. I watched him last season. Everyone got fired. And now the Steelers got him, and we await what happens next.
Mike Florio, on the other hand, sees the situation quite differently. For him, this move is a win-win, both for the Steelers and for Aaron Rodgers. In Florio's view, Rodgers will be the undisputed starter in Pittsburgh this season, giving the team a veteran presence under center while they search for a long-term solution in the draft. He argued that Rodgers is landing in a system where he can actually fit in, surrounded by a strong defense and a coaching staff that knows how to manage experienced quarterbacks. And for the Steelers, after last year's complete catastrophe at the QB position, this gives them a reliable, if temporary, answer. Florio believes this might just be the stability both sides desperately need, at least for now, even though Florio praised the signing of Aaron Rodgers. He didn't ignore the risks that come with it. He made it clear, Rodgers can be great, but he can also be a disaster for the Steelers. Florio pointed straight to the 2024 season, calling it nothing short of a disaster for the veteran quarterback. Whether it was the injuries, the locker room, tension, or the lack of consistency on the field, Rodgers' last campaign left more questions than answers. Nick Wright didn't hold back either, and his take was brutally honest. He flat out predicted that Aaron Rodgers will not be a suitable fit for the Steelers. In Wright's eyes, the team simply doesn't need him. He argued that if the Steelers had somehow ended up with both Shedeur Sanders and Rodgers, it would have turned into nothing short of a media circus. Aaron Rodgers would be clowning himself, Wright said, taking a direct shot at the veteran's recent antics and media presence. And he didn't stop there. If anyone thinks Rodgers is going to take the Steelers forward, they're clowning themselves too.
I just get on the record on something. There is nothing
I am more confident about than if the Pittsburgh Steelers roll into this season with a wide receiver room of DK Metcalf and George Pickens and a quarterback room of Aaron Rodgers and the most popular, famous rookie quarterback of the draft. That ain't going to end well.
No.
There is no chance that ends well. The idea that that is not going to be a media circus and some weird passive-aggressive Aaron Rodgers stuff going on, we're out of our minds.
Chris Broussard added yet another layer to the conversation, one that fans of Shedeur Sanders will appreciate. While discussing the Steelers and their decision to pass on Sanders, Broussard didn't mince words. He declared that any team, not just Pittsburgh, that passes on Shedeur will regret it. According to Broussard, Shedeur has the talent, the mindset, and the leadership qualities to become a franchise cornerstone. Mark my words, he said, the teams that skip on him now will be the ones kicking themselves later. Bart Scott didn't hold back when it came to Shedeur Sanders either. Weighing in on the ongoing debate, he made one thing crystal clear. Teams in need of a quarterback who passed on Shedeur are going to suffer. For Scott, this wasn't even up for debate. It was a missed opportunity of massive proportions. He emphasized that the evaluators and scouts had everything they needed: data, film, performance metrics, the whole package. And still, they chose to overlook Sanders. According to Scott, that decision is going to come back to haunt them. As the season unfolds and Shedeur starts to prove his worth on the field, Scott warns that the consequences could be serious. Some front office personnel, he said, might find themselves out of a job for letting a talent like that slip or through their fingers. It's not just about what Sanders could become, it's about what these teams just gave away. And with every passing day, Shedeur Sanders is proving exactly why his name was never just hype. He's showing on the field that he can do it all. Poise in the pocket, command of the offense, and the kind of leadership that can shift the direction of a franchise. After the draft day drama and being passed over by the Steelers, Shedeur didn't stay quiet. He made it clear, I'll prove everyone wrong. And so far, he's doing just that. Each performance is a statement, not just to fans, but to the teams that let him slip away.
I know there's a lot of rumors about the next level, and I can't see that. Yeah. I can't see the next level. And I think a couple people who may have taken shots at my kids, they were afraid that I would go. That's where the shots came from. All you got to do is just sit back and listen. People don't want to do that. They want to create these narratives and create these stories and then attach them to a kid that ain't never done nothing wrong.
Yeah. How does that make you feel when you see your colleagues or your peers going in on you, man? Like, how does that make you feel?
No idea, man. You have no idea. We've always been in front of the camera, so they know how to navigate. They know how to handle themselves. Yeah. And you're not gonna catch them in no foolery and no mess. You're not. When you sit up there and say something like, he went in a meeting unprepared, like, dude, Shedeur Sanders, who's had 6 different coordinators, who has still functioned and went up, leveled up every time we brought somebody new in, and you're gonna tell me he was
every situation.
Now all eyes are on Pittsburgh. They made their choice, and as Shedeur rises, the pressure builds. The Steelers may have thought they were choosing the safer route, but it's starting to look like they passed on a generational talent, and the consequences of that decision, they may be coming sooner than expected. In the end, it's becoming increasingly clear that the Pittsburgh Steelers may have made a costly mistake by passing on Shedeur Sanders. While they opted for short-term security with Aaron Rodgers, Sanders is emerging as a true game changer, young, dynamic, and built for the modern NFL. His performances are already silencing doubters and proving that he has all the tools to lead a franchise into the future. By overlooking him, the Steelers didn't just pass on a quarterback, they passed on a long-term vision, energy, and leadership that their roster desperately needed. Instead, they've banked on a veteran whose best years may already be behind him. As Sanders continues to shine and Rodgers faces the immense pressure of resurrecting a struggling team, Pittsburgh may soon come to realize that this was not just a draft day decision. It was a turning point, one that could define the franchise's direction for years to come. But what do you think? Did the Steelers make the right call by choosing Aaron Rodgers over Shedeur Sanders? Is Rodgers really the answer for a team looking to rebuild, or did Pittsburgh just trade away its future for a name from the past? Do you believe Shedeur will go on to become the star many are predicting? And if so, how long before the Steelers regret their decision? Could this be the move that sets the franchise back even further? Or is there still time to course correct? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. This one's going to spark a lot of debate.